Okay, amazing artist. These are some sheets that I've drawn. We've done them in the past and I've changed them a little bit. You actually have yours front and back, so yours looks a little different than mine. So right here, we're going to start talking about 3D shapes and form. Last week we started talking about shapes, and you have your basic shapes, which you obviously know your basic shapes. We did some drawing with some shapes. Well, as an artist, if you want to be cool, okay, as an artist, if you want to be cool, turning things three-dimensional is where it's at. One of my favorite 3D things that was a gift from somebody is made from a 3D printer. You know I love Yoda, but I'm going to show you how to draw. So everybody get your pencil, and at the bottom, write your name because you are the amazing artist. And all you need today is a pencil, okay? So first thing, pretty simple, draw a circle. Now when you draw as an artist, you don't want to have your hand down on the paper. You want to the movement actually comes from your shoulder once you start thinking about that. Transparent, everybody say transparent. That means you can see through it. And I have a little example there where you can see through it. And a solid is where you can't. So I'm going to show you. First thing you do is draw a circle. And you may not be able to draw a perfect circle. I can't draw a perfect circle. But you see how the movement was up above? I'm just practice drawing that. And then we're making a sphere. Okay, that's what that word says, sphere. I will give this a solid curved line here in the front. And then I want to mimic or have the same thing in the back. And if you see the picture here, it's dotted, but it's very hard to see because I shrunk it down so it fit. So there is your transparent sphere. Now, if I'm doing a solid, I'm doing the same thing. You can always think about where your light source is coming from. If my light source is coming from here, if I drew a flashlight, I'm not going to on this. If my light source is coming from here, it'll be lighter here. I like to have my lines go in the direction of the shape, so I'm curving it. And then this is called, remember, cross hatching. Okay, and then I would put it on a table maybe. And then over here would be where it's the darkest artist, because that would be the shadow. And you can come in the lines that we talked about, the hatching, the cross hatching. You can do some pointillism. Maybe add a little bit of shading over here. You might have a shadow in the back on the wall. Now over here it says extra practice of 3D sphere. So if you have time or you want to do it at home, you can do some more practice here. So here is an example of a sphere. That's for the top part. Now we're moving on to square. And the 3D of a square is a cube. So I'm going to set that right there so you can see it while I'm drawing. First thing is draw a square. Pretty simple. And the definition of a square is it has 4 equal sides. Okay, that's what that means. It means that they're equal. Now transparent, you remember what that means? That's right, you can see through it. So the way I like to teach transparent is first draw a square. Now think about placement. We've been talking about placement. Don't draw the square all the way over here, then you won't be able to add to it, okay? So then I like to tell you, give that square a nose, okay? And that's gonna be the corner of that other square. And what you think about placing, copying and pasting like we do on our computer, and add another square right on top of that, okay? Now you may get this or you may not get it, that's okay. We're practicing today, and this is a sheet that you could take home. Then you have your diagonal corners where they connect, okay? So that is a transparent and means that we can see through it. Once again, I have extra practice over here. Now, this is a solid cube. So first thing you do is draw, that's right, we start with a square. Then I like to say, let's give that square some hair. I want you to think about it's windy, so that hair is blowing back. And these 2 hairs need to be about the same size. Remember, I always draw darker so you can see, artist. Let me zoom this in here. I just realized because I'm looking up above so you can see a little bit better. So there is my part of my cube with my hair. Now you want to give the chin, I call this the chin, give the chin some hair, and it's going back diagonal, all in the same direction. See that 1, 2, 3. If you turn your paper, artist, making sure you can still see this in the screen, then it looks like a little table, okay? And somebody could stand on your little table. So turn it back around. And then all you have to do is connect it. Now watch, when this is parallel to this side. Now I might have some extra pieces here. Let me blow it in just a little bit. Extra pieces here, so then I would just erase that because they're too long. Then this side is parallel to this side. Now, what a lot of artists do is they don't make it parallel, and they'll draw it like that, and it looks like their box has collapsed. You don't want your box to collapse, okay? So you want this to be parallel to that side is parallel to that side, and now we have a cube. Now, the same thing with the sphere that I did, you can put it on a table. So think about it, if I put it on the table, it would be falling off the edge. If I put it on the table here, that back side would be getting ready to fall. So visually, you want it to be a little bit, make sure you're in the screen here, a little bit above that back corner, and then you draw a line, hit a bump, and jump, okay? Same thing, you can do your shading on this one if you choose. I'm gonna show you how to actually look inside this box. If I looked inside on the top view, so if I did this a cool thing, you add one line, artist, watch that. If I add that line, what happens? I can go inside that box. Do you see it? Now I'm going to erase this. Now if I want to go in on this side, where would I put my line? Well, that's the edge of that box. It would go straight back. Now, artist, do you see it? I can crawl in this side of the box. Now I'm going to erase it again. If I want to come in the front of the box, so this is the opening of my box, okay, artist? That line, that corner would come visually here. It would start to come down this way. This corner should meet with it. So then I come over here, and essentially, if you've been inside a cardboard box when you were younger, or maybe now you still like to play, you can look inside that box. There's one more line I need. These two have to connect. Now, do you see visually, artists, where you can go inside that box? There are all different kinds of things that you can add to this box. You can also add a lid, and then I would erase that background line. So these are just different levels and things that you can take this to. Same thing here, I could add a lid. You would have it come down where it looks like the box is open. I would get rid of that. And then visually, hopefully you can see where you can get inside the box. Now inside the box would be the darkest place in the box. And I would see how I'm pressing a little harder with my pencil. And then maybe have more shadows and shading. Maybe this is really dark, cross hatching. Okay, then you would add your shadows around it, but I'm gonna stop there. Okay, turn it over to where it says side 2, and this says rectangle. So that will turn into a rectangular prism. I'm going to move the screen, blow it up here so you can see a little better. First thing you start with, that's right, draw a rectangle. Looks just like the other side, artist. A rectangle has two sides that are equal. So these two sides would be equal, and these two sides would be equal. Transparent means I can see through it, and here's the image that you're going to see of the transparent. So think about placement. You want to have enough space. I'm going to set my rectangle towards the bottom. Now, where kids get confused or where they have their mistake is that this box in the back isn't the same size, and when they go to connect those lines together, they don't fit. So over here, I'm going to kind of put my dot over there. Think of it as an ear, I guess. Place on top of it the same size box. Make it look like a rectangle. And then the steps again, like we did for the cube, we connect those with diagonal lines. And there is your transparent one. Now, I like to, if I have time, usually I will take and add a little fish. If I can get my pen to work, it's not wanting to work today. I will add a little fish, and that would be an example of where he is in a transparent rectangular prism. Okay, artists, now I'm going to show you how to do a solid one. It's basically the same steps for a rectangular prism. That's right. Start with a rectangle. Remember, I'm drawing a little darker so you can see, artist, and then I give that rectangle some hair, have the hair be the same size, give the chin some hair. I say things silly so it will stick. Turn it outside. There's a nice table. Okay. Now I turn it back around. Make sure you can see in my screen. I have that is parallel to that side. This side is parallel to this side. And you see I have this extra piece. All I do have to do is erase. Now, to me, this looks like it could be a stick of butter. It could be a refrigerator. It could be anything you want it to be. Remember, if you're going to set it on a table, draw that line, draw that line. Okay? If I take this to another level, artist, it's the same thing. Draw that line in there. I can get inside the toy box. Okay, so there, I'm just gonna do this part of it for that one. And then I would have my lid to my toy box, and maybe I would have different toys in there. Okay, so you can do all different kinds of things. Maybe you have blocks, balls, whatever. So inside there is your toy box. All right, artist, now we're going to draw the triangle, which you already know how to draw a triangle. It is 3 sides. There you go, there's a triangle. 3 equal sides on this one. And you're going to turn this into a pyramid, which looks like this, okay? And the first thing that you do, that's right, draw a triangle, okay? Oh, wait a second. And visually, you want to think about this shape, if you can see it up there, while you're drawing. I keep checking the screen. And you want it to have a little kickstand, okay? So think of that triangle, kind of looks like a Hershey Kiss with a solid line. It has a kickstand. If I turn it on its side, to me, visually, I can draw a little pelican on there, and that could be his beak. Think about how you could take your shapes and turn them into something, artist. And then this line goes back and connects. Now, I want it to be transparent. So I would have a dashed line, because it's inside of it, because it looks like it's transparent. This would be a dashed line that would come back here, okay? We blow this up just a little bit more. I guess that's as big as I can get it. And then this this dotted line would come in and connect from there. So then you would have a transparent pyramid. Now, if you've ever been camping, you definitely don't want to be in a transparent tent. So I'm going to show you how to make a solid one. You zoom in on this one. Yes, artist, you start with another triangle. You give it a kickstand, and you connect them in the back. And that's it. And then you could think about maybe your tent is on a hill, okay, and there's the sun coming up, and you're turning this into a tent. To take this to a new level, how I would turn this into a tent is think about, you could see on the inside, but look what I've added. If you've ever gone camping, you have where the sides can open. Okay, so there's inside the tent, and I've got the flap open here, and I would erase this line right here so it looks like it's the opening of the, oh, I make that tent come back just a little bit bigger. Look at this, I got a bigger tent, didn't have to do anything. And then I would have the stakes, so that's how you would turn it into a tent. Artist, if we have extra time, like I said, these are coming home with you. You have extra practice here to practice doing the shapes, turning them into something else. You can get a scrap piece of paper or a clean piece of paper and turn these shapes. Remember I said, if you can draw any shape, you can draw anything. Turn these shapes into something that you would see. So, thank you, amazing artist.